on 3. Cool?
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Wait,
we're doing, is it 1, 2, 3 clap or 1, 2, 3?
No, on 3.
Okay.
Oh, that's stupid. Who the
that's
fuck
why
does
I said
that?
on 3.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I wasn't
1,
listening.
2, clap.
Yes.
Yeah.
2,
All right.
clap. All right, here we go. Now I'm ready. 1.
I feel like this all needs to be in there somehow. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Hey.
1,
All right.
2, 3.
We were in the same room and we weren't
Got
even
it.
at the same time.
Okay. we have to do 1, 2, 3 clap. Okay?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, clap.
Yeah, could
Yes,
we please do
1,
it?
2, 3,
Okay, yes,
clap.
please.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
All
it doesn't have to be necessarily
All right, here we
100%
go.
perfect. I'll figure it out. But,
Okay.
okay.
But,
Alright. 1,
all right, let's do it.
2, 3.
3.
Good enough.
Great. That was great.
Awesome. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of, what's our podcast called?
It's We Didn't Start the Podcast.
I haven't been
We didn't
introduced
start
yet.
the
I can't
podcast.
speak legally.
Ian, we didn't start the podcast?
No, we did start the podcast.
No, okay, well, I just wanted to let you know that when we start it, I have a bit that I want to do. I'm going to pretend like I think that you meant we didn't start the podcast
Nick.
when you're just saying the name of it.
All right, here's what
so
we'll do.
that, like, every time you say it, I'm going to, like, be like, oh, we didn't?
No.
And then,
Nick,
and
I
then,
think
I'm
it's
gonna,
good.
and then I'm
start
going to,
the
like...
podcast, though. We did
Huh?
start it. We started
It
it.
started.
Did we rename it?
No. It's not called
We-
We Started. It's still called...
We're called We Did Start the Podcast?
It's called We
Because then
Did
I don't think
Start-
we can do the bit if it's called that then.
Agreed.
No,
Cut
but
the
we
bit.
did
We're already
start
Cut the bit.
doing the bit.
Cut the bit.
No, okay, so what's the name of the podcast?
We
We didn't start the podcast.
Okay, well, when we do, I got this bit I want to do.
Okay.
Where every
He's
time
very
you say it,
confused. Well, hey,
I'm gonna
next week.
pretend. I'm gonna misunderstand and
We'll
think.
do that next week.
Okay.
Here,
All right,
okay,
we'll do
Nick,
that
I'm
next
gonna
week.
I'm gonna start the podcast right now. Okay, you ready?
All right. Yep.
All right. On 3. On 3.
Wait, after
the
3
podcast
or
is
on
started.
3?
No, on 3. So it'll be
1,
1,
2,
2. The
start.
podcast is on.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
1, 2.
The podcast has started.
The podcast has started.
All right.
Great.
Hey everyone. We didn't start the podcast here. I'm one
Hey,
of
Ian. When we started, I have this bit that I want to do.
I'm one of the hosts.
Can we change the name?
I feel like
Well,
if this is going to
it's what
keep
we
happening.
Oh, at least what happened last week didn't happen this week.
That's true.
It's true.
All right.
Well, I'm one of your hosts, Ian Page. With me, we have Nick Dressel,
Hey, how's it going?
Eric Eilerson,
Yo.
and Sophia Dutcher.
Great bits, guys.
Thank
Great
you.
bits, great bits.
You know, guys,
Uh,
over this week I had a problem that I realized. We fucked
You've
up.
got a problem?
No.
Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it.
Hey. See, my problem is we fucked up last week because people actually listened to that.
Well, I guess we have to get that explicit sticker now. This is really early into it.
No, I full-heartedly
My
went
mom
into that
listened
not
to it.
thinking anyone was going to listen to it. So now I feel like it's a whole new ballgame. We had like 50
It's a
people.
whole new
like-
ball of
now we're
wax is what
playing
you...
racquetball.
So at least we're like Sophie's mom heard it,
Yeah. And
Yep.
she's going to distribute it to all her friends.
and TJ heard it, and I think that's our viewership.
yeah.
Well, on the
my
Podbean
mom, her
thing, it has
friends,
some.
and TJ.
It
Yeah.
has,
Really?
it has a
Really?
counter, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
we have
thanks
50
anybody who wandered in here. Thanks for sticking around. I mean,
We're
this
just as confused as you
it's
are.
yeah, we'll figure it out together.
More
I guess.
so, I would gander. I would gander more
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I would gander more so.
I would gander more so. That's our first T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's just
got a
I would like
It's got
to
a
say to
goose on
those
it.
people that I would like to apologize on behalf of Sophie for the not only the paper clipping, which was incessant and horrible,
It
but also
literally
the
sent chills up my spine every time. It happened
Also,
when I was editing.
the cereal break that happened in the middle.
Guys, what can I say? I'm like your mascot.
Okay,
Like the
Sofi.
goofy little girl who sits in the corner making noises.
Sofi,
Like, that's
I
what I'm
have
here
something
for.
to ask.
With that
Okay.
sentence, you literally just sent feminism back like 40 years.
I know.
I'm pretty sure.
I know.
Susan B.
Christ.
Sorry.
But, okay,
Susan B.
Sorry.
Apology.
Susan B. Apology.
Susan B. Apology.
Yeah.
Susan B.
Sofi,
Ornery.
Silver coin.
Because you started eating cereal because we were
Because of
talking.
cereal.
We were talking about cereal. Is that going to happen like every time something comes up?
I'm
don't
going to tell
know.
you, the other day, all I said was the name Anyad Syed, and she immediately went out and bought a box of Captain Crunch.
And then may or may not have murdered her ex-boyfriend. Male
Yeah, let's.
Kimp.
Male camp.
I haven't actually listened to Serial,
How?
but I know enough to know that's fucking hilarious. I'm crying.
All I have to say
well,
is,
so is
if
she.
I didn't, if I didn't eat that cereal, this great bit wouldn't have happened.
Hey,
So
I mean, I can't even barely mention that there never was a payphone in the parking lot
The
of that
Best
Best
Buy.
Buy, and she's running out for a dog food bag size thing of Malto meal
Right?
marshmallow mateys.
what can I do?
I mean, I'll be like,
And-
hey, Sophie, guess what? People saw him in the library, and she'll be like, "Where's the milk?" It's
and
really
I have,
offensive.
I have like little portable boxes of Fruit Loops I take with me in case I see a cellular tower somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for emergencies.
Yeah, just for
Mm-hmm.
emergencies, because if I'm not getting them Fruit Loops,
Whether
I'm going
whether it's
loopy.
Stephanie Koenig's investigative journalism that she tailored to radio or a box of Fruit Loops, you have to follow your nose.
And the better question is, how do the MailChimp people sleep at night knowing that they got increased traffic because this girl got heinously murdered? That's literally blood money.
I think MailChimp's fine with it. I saw the movie Congo when I was a kid, and those MailChimps were very aggressive.
Good bit,
Yeah,
everyone.
I-
That was nice. Nicely done.
Guys,
And that's
I-
the cereal chat.
Guys, I think I'm having a hard time here. Like, none of your laughter is coming through.
my
we'll
mic's
have to,
broken.
We'll have to, like, when that syncs up, we'll have to.
Yeah, we'll have to listen
All
for
right,
the
yeah.
We'll have to
humor.
listen.
Do you want me
for
to
the,
add
yeah.
in a laugh track?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna Nick, I'm gonna give you an opportunity right now. Give me one of your the best joke you can come up with. Okay, right now, we'll all let you wait, and I'll add some theme music and a laugh track after. Are you ready?
Oh man, just the best joke I can come up with.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
one that will never get a laugh, and so you can just hear it with a laugh for the first time ever.
Yeah, there you go.
What would be the best occupation for a pie that came to life?
What?
A cobbler.
Sophie, you're not supposed to actually laugh. I'm putting in a laugh
Oh my
track for
God.
that reason.
I'm sorry.
This only goes to serve what my point was going to be was we don't need to add a laugh track. Sophie's here.
I'm here.
Oh, that's true.
This is-
Sophie will laugh at anything.
This isn't a Big Bang Theory taping. These are actually funny.
Oh.
Oh,
Take that, most popular show on earth.
Bazinga.
Speaking of most popular show on earth,
Oh, that was another one of Sophie's segments, Bazinga Bitches.
Bazinga.
For when she gets off a really good burn on a popular network sitcom.
Are those like the Cumber bitches of the Big Bang Theory?
Yep.
Got
Bazinga
it.
bitches.
Cumber bitches?
Bazinga bitches.
That was a great segment you have there, Sophie.
Yeah, Bazinga bitches. Thanks.
So
the whole
speaking
thing.
of popular, most popular show, we should probably get started talking about what our podcast is for today, which is we're talking about one of the most popular movies of
Nice try.
well, you know, I do what I can.
I think before we get into that, I need just 20 more minutes of Andy Richter talk.
No. Although,
Well, I mean, are we putting the Andy Richter kibosh already? This early?
Yeah,
That's,
I think we
I
are.
don't think it's necessarily a kibosh. Maybe a shish kebab, but not a kibosh.
Oh man, that's Shishka. Ian, you've got quite a vocabulary. Did you happen to go to Eureka College, which is the alma mater of our former president Ronald Reagan? He graduated from Eureka College. Grew up in northern Illinois. Moved to California.
No. You're thinking of Abraham Lincoln.
No,
he's the one from Illinois.
I'm just saying.
Get your shit together, Nick.
Wow.
I'm saying he's more than trickle down, guys.
Yeah, you know a lot about Ronald
Citation needed.
I know a lot about him. So
yeah.
Well, that'll come in handy in our side podcast, Getting Cool with Reagan, starring Dick Dressel.
I thought it was going to be called Reagan's RayGuns, talking about Ronald Reagan in sci-fi movies.
Talking about Ronald RayGuns.
Ronald RayGuns.
I'm down for that.
All right, cool.
Reagan.
Tune in next
everyone.
week for Reagan's RayGuns.
Yeah, we're officially changing the name of the podcast. I guess.
Reagan's RayGuns.
To Ronald Reagan's RayGuns.
Hey, listen.
Oh. Wait, what was that? Did anyone hear that?
Hey, listen.
Oh shit. Eric, do you have your N64 controller with you?
Oh no, I left it last time we did a dying bit. You do yours.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Oh, I found it. Okay. All right. Up C.
You should change the name of the podcast to Reagan's RayGuns.
Oh, okay.
That's oddly specific for a Japanese company to program.
You know what the worst part is? She always gives you this information after you've already figured it out.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of odd.
She says, I guess we should go to Death Mountain, and I'm already, in Death Mountain.
Yeah.
You know what
Fucking Navi.
Pretty annoying.
Anyway, Jaws.
Yeah, so for those of you that didn't listen last week, this whole podcast is about picking one pop culture topic per week, and then we'll y'all watch it or listen to it. And this week was Jaws, the 1975 movie based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Oh, man.
Based on the novel Push. Yeah, Jaws based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
There's a really mean Gabrielle Sidibe joke in there. Just take it as you will.
We already made one last week. I think we need a couple weeks off.
Yeah, let's leave Gabrielle Sidibe alone for a week, guys.
Like the casting directors in Hollywood do?
Yeah.
Good.
He's really letting her have it.
I am. Yeah, she's got that Empire money. She's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jaws.
So will Empire this fall.
1975, huge blockbuster. It's like the first... It was like the first ever Hollywood blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
Broke every record at the time. Yep, directed Steven Spielberg. John Williams does the music.
Invented the blockbuster. Movies like Star Wars, The Exorcist, and of course, Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Oh, yes. Wait, is Werner Herzog here?
No, it's that Scottish narrator from the film and Odyssey thing that's on Netflix.
Yeah, the story of film and Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think he sort of sounds like Werner Herzog, though.
He does a little.
A Scottish
Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
That the world's been waiting for.
Yeah. I've been waiting for it, at least.
A Tartan Herzog.
Herzog. That's awful. So
Werner Herzog.
Is that a Wookiee Werner Herzog?
Oh, man. Do you think Wookiees and Scottishmen are closely related?
No, not at all.
I thought you were going to say circumcised. I don't know why. I thought that.
Do I think that Wookiees are circumcised?
Do you think
I think they have that.
Are
I
Wookiee
think
dicks
they have
furry to the tip?
That hook like dog penis that don't let go.
I thought dogs have a lipstick, though, don't they? That's duck that you're thinking of.
No,
dogs
have
have corkscrews.
barbs.
Oh.
Cats have the burrs. Cats have bird penises.
Cats have birds.
Guys, we just can't keep our animal penises straight anymore as a society.
Yeah.
And I blame the schools.
No, the dog penises, isn't it like the penis swells up or something so they get
It
locked
swells up.
together?
There's like a little knot at the end of it that gets engorged with.
That's what it is. That's right. The little knot.
And the girl can't get him off until he gets off.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll see dogs with their asses are stuck together because he started humping her and then tried to get away, but he can't because his dog dick is stuck.
Guys, dog men are dog pigs, aren't they?
Dog men are dog pigs.
Yeah.
Like, that's from our cat feminists.
Equal rights for dog women.
Equal rights for dog women. I won't rest until dog women get more than 75 dog cents on the dog dollar.
Bazinga, bitches. But the other kind.
I'm saying, can we call them bitches? Need I remind you, like I said at the beginning of this, people listen to this.
I don't know why.
Oh boy.
So
can we call this segment where we talk about Jaws? Can we call it John about Jaws?
Oh yeah, okay. So guys, are you ready for our episode of John about Jaws?
John about Jaws?
Sure, yeah, because as you listeners remember from last week, 3 of us have not seen it previous to this week.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie a bunch. I think I saw it when I was like 10.
Right.
Which is probably not an age that you should see that movie because
I was terrified, and I'm 24.
Well, okay. So, question: do we want to go like person by person, initial thoughts, and then break it down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. So, then we can work through the movie. So
sweet.
So I've already seen it a bunch, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's one of those movies that if it's ever on TV, like I will always watch it because it's so freaking awesome. Tons. It's just brilliant. And watching it again, that was what I noticed. I was taking notes, and 90% of my notes are like, this scene is awesome.
What you noticed was how you'll always watch it.
Wait, what do you mean?
He goes. I'll always watch it when it's on TV, and that's what I noticed watching it this time. Is that pretty much I'll always watch it.
Let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed. But like with my notes for this, 90% of my notes are about like, oh man, that line is awesome, or oh shit, that scene is awesome, or this or that. Can I read you my like really deep notes at the end? I wrote, it's this really fantastic family drama for the first half, and the second half, which is the actual hunt, is this power struggle between all the guys on the boat. And it's a movie.
It's so cool.
It's a movie about fear in the truest sense. What are the things we fear? What causes this fear? When is it justified? Sharks.
Sharks cause the fear.
Sharks are the ones that cause that fear.
But
like that was clear to me watching it. That most of the fear in the movie came from sharks, right? Like, like their teeth and like the fin sometimes would be scary, but like when it would bite you, like the fear from that.
Oh, I get it. I didn't realize that the jaws in Jaws were like shark jaws.
How about the injustice of them killing that perfectly innocent, like smaller shark at the beginning, and they're like hanging it up?
Whoa!
Like it's a what? What's wrong?
I'm saying we're getting specific here.
Yeah.
Oh,
spoilers.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So that's my reflection on the overall. Eric, what do you think? What did you think about the movie overall?
So again, seeing it for the first time as a 23-year-old in 2015, I don't think it holds up that well.
Holy fuck! This is gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
I think
so. General reaction. I thought that the first half they did fear really well. Suspense was handled very nicely. Some of the camera work, I think, because I've kind of been trained to more modern cinematography and more shots, I would say, in a smaller amount of time. They had a lot of kind of stagnant shots where the camera was stagnant, not just that it didn't cut. Kind of felt drawn out to me as opposed to suspenseful. I thought Williams did a great job, but the second after they started showing the shark and doing the fucking shit with the barrels, I was like, I can smell the ending for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was my overall. Oh. And the problem is your fear is so great when you don't see it, and then you see it, and it's like, oh, that's not real. I'm not scared anymore. But the suspense in the beginning was great.
I don't agree with that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't agree with like any of that.
I knew I would. No one else would, but that's why I like that.
Well, it's discussion. We'll talk about that, even though you're fucking wrong. Sophie, what'd you think? I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We kind of have to go at the same time because we've already talked about it, and if one goes before the other, they're going to say everything.
Yeah, no. I have my own things that I was going to say.
I just wanted to talk about our discussion that we had earlier about how modern we thought it was.
Oh yeah, it was like really modern.
It's 40 years old, and
it's a 40-year-old film, and
one of the first things that I said was, "Wow, this looks like." Kind of like a movie from now to me.
Which I said is probably not because it was like
before
indicative. It's because everybody after him is copying him.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so many shots I took notice of where I was like, oh shit, I've seen that happen a million times since then.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I thought the camera work was phenomenal. Like, that he did everything. He did the, like, close-up and far-away thing that Citizen Kane did. Mm-hmm. Which was, like, the kid in the water and the face right up close.
Yeah.
And then they did that, like, coming forward and going back zoom on Brody's face when the shark thing happened the first time.
That's one of my favorite pieces of editing ever in a movie.
Side note, my favorite note I wrote was, what if Chief Brody was Brody Stevens? I think that would have been great.
He looks kind of similar.
Movie. It would have been a better movie.
I think so.
Shark, keep it moving, out of the pond, motivation, push.
We're moving, there's sharks, we're moving.
So, do you have, Sophie, Nick, do you have anything else, like, general you want to say?
Yes. From the 2X chromosomes corner of this podcast, I just want to say that no, this movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
Whoa!
Not that really matters.
What if the shark is female, then?
The shark could be female, but does she talk to another female shark?
Well, when she's eating that first lady who shows her boobs.
She's eating that first lady.
She's like, hey, lady, I'm going to eat you. But she doesn't eat sharks, so you can't understand it.
So essentially, this whole movie starts off with a shark-woman lesbian relationship where the shark is eating the other woman.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did not know that.
I don't actually know if that's
40 years
how it
ago,
works,
nobody even knew what the Bechdel test was.
That's true.
Although, I gotta be honest, I found myself actually thinking for the first time watching a movie, not in like a bad way. I didn't count this against it because of that reason. But at the end, I'm like, wow, I'm really just watching like a bunch of like relatively similarly aged white dudes for like an hour.
That was what I was gonna say. This is a total dude movie. Like, I loved it, and I had a great time watching it.
Sure.
Especially the second half
Yeah.
is very much a dude movie. And even all of the women characters in it, if you notice, are, like, antagonizing the main guy.
Yeah.
In some way.
Like the mom and...
The mom, it wants him to talk to her more.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of, like... the women are testing the main male of the movie.
Yeah.
And, but that's Spielberg for you. I'm sure he has some mommy issues.
Well, yeah, and it's a time. Although I will say, despite that, I think that especially the character of the mom, which I'm sure we'll get into, I think she's possibly one of my favorite. She's probably my favorite, like, side character in that, because I think that whole... Even though you only see her in, like, 2 scenes, that journey that you watch in those 2 scenes is, like, horrific and heartbreaking. That scene when... Well, let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Yeah, like, just... since you know it well enough, you could probably take us through it scene by scene.
Yeah.
Sure. So...
boobs.
First scene...
My first note is Steven Spielboobs.
Yeah, I have boobs,
Steven Spielboobs. Yeah, I wrote titties, my kind of movie.
And I just watched Wet Hot American Summer. So, like, the thing is, like, I saw that, so I'm like, okay, is this just going to be like Wet Hot American Summer with sharks? Because that would have been cool.
It's funny,
I mean, basically.
Wet Hot American Shark. Yeah.
Wet Hot American Shark.
Wet Hot American Shark. Well, yeah, that bonfire sequence is something that I think... you see in so many movies, and eventually that trickles down to Wet Hot American Summer. But yeah, so they're all these teenagers or whatever.
Well, isn't it referencing
alcohol.
sort of like beach movies, like 50s beach movies?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's totally especially because the beach is so prominent, and it's sort of like playing off that fear, the lack of fear of the beach. So
the beach is kind of like the 10th character.
Yeah. Although, did you know? This is something I had never noticed before. As an adult, I totally see that when she wants to bone that guy, and she gives him like the silent "we should fuck" look. Mm-hmm. And there's no dialogue, but I know that story.
Oh no, that was
right
great.
There.
No, that was, and I like how
I thought it was like, hey, girl that doesn't sit with the group, you're not like the other girls that sit with the group.
But then also,
that was my first notice.
That was another thought of like, okay, let's say this movie comes out nowadays. A girl walks away from a bonfire, and then a guy who's probably drunk just fucking sprints after her. That is a different film.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Also,
true.
I mean, I almost said it turned out better for her. It didn't really.
No.
I don't know. That's arguable, but.
Well, I just, how far out was she that he was just casually sitting there?
I know,
while
like she was
her
like
head off?
screaming, and he couldn't hear her.
Well, no,
I wrote down.
He like passed.
No,
out.
my next note was alcohol saves yet another life.
You thought he passed out? Like there was so much time where he was just kind of just laying there enjoying himself, and he couldn't hear her.
The only reason it could work is drunk passed out.
Yeah, he passed out. Remember, because he goes up, he follows her, and at one point he screams, "I'm not drunk," which is great. And I was like, I've heard Eric say that.
Mm-hmm. I was
probably when he was drunk.
I was
drunk.
drunk.
Well, clearly drunk.
But I wrote down, in ocean, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's one of those things that I think so terrifying is did you see... So, like, she's swimming, everything's peaceful. There's that awesome John Williams music playing.
Oh, yeah. John Williams' score is amazing.
MVP John Williams.
It's like a terrifying score. I have one minor gripe to it that I'll get to later about it. But
is it the done or the done?
No,
good question. Solid question.
This is some real investigative reporting from you, Eric.
Thank you.
Solid question from Eric.
Hey, points.
But what becomes so terrifying is when the girl gets like dragged under the water. Mm-hmm. So what her screaming when her screaming gets muffled out by the water. Oh, freaks the shit out of me.
That's hot American screaming.
And also the way that she gets dragged around is like, I have to say that the stuff that happens in the beach, like before they're hunting it, is some of the scariest stuff I've ever experienced.
And I gotta say,
and there's a lot. But
I gotta say, I was totally on board for the first, like, honestly, which is so contradictory to what you guys said. I was totally on board up until the hunt. I was like all about the fear was done really well. That was absolutely terrifying. Her being drug around because there kept being. I wrote some notes about the fact that there's still hope of survival, even though it's horrific. Like, oh my god, she keeps getting dragged. She doesn't die for a good minute. And even, like, later on, which we'll get to, when people should die and don't, there's still that sick hope that you might be able to survive this thing, which I think is so horrific, which I'm sad that isn't as prevalent in the second half. But, yeah, continue.
Well, we'll get to that. When we get to the second half, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I mean, that whole first scene, though, is pretty terrifying. It does a really great job of setting up sort of the tone for the rest of the movie. That it's going to be, you're going to sort of feel like sick to your stomach for a lot of it because of how the tension is built, especially that first half. I wrote, someone said I got hit by a vampire.
The kid got bit by a vampire.
Yeah, the kid that has, like, I have a bleedy hand. I'm like,
Was it just me, or that kid was probably on the spectrum, right?
That kid was probably some cast or crew member's son.
Yeah.
That got to be a daddy's movie or something.
Shame on you.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just asking a simple question.
Jesus Christ, Sophie.
So
you don't have like a simple question? That's poor taste.
Wow.
So in our next scene, is
she
where
was
we
talking
first
about
meet,
chromosomes. All right, sorry.
Where we first meet Officer Brody, our main character for the movie.
Yeah, I have something to say. Okay, so they find the girl, and then they have to close the beach, right? Okay, and everything's happening because it's the 4th of July weekend, right?
Oh, this is coming up like right after this scene.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know.
I have a comment about this scene real quick.
Anyways.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I do too. When he's typing up on the typewriter, Sophie laughed. She goes, "Huh, a letter from the coroner office."
Because it misspelled coroner on the
Like,
letter.
oh,
if
did
you
it
guys
really?
didn't notice that.
Like
yeah.
he's got a coroner office.
It was corner.
I loved
they
that when they
spelled it
got to
wrong.
the beach, the cop there looked like he was fucking like looting the place. Like he was he wasn't really like observing. He was just kind of peeking around the sand, looking for trinkets or some shit. I'm like, is this cop just closing things down?
No, this was the cop who
Was
got
that
sick, right?
Oh, I don't know.
There was the cop.
Yeah.
No, are you talking about the first cop?
The
who
first
finds
cop,
her?
who was on but he wasn't near her body. He was kind of like looked like he was looting around the beach while he was waiting for the other guys to show up.
Oh, I
First
thought
cop.
he looked because he looks like he's about to puke. Is the whole thing.
First cop on the scene. First cop.
Well, before they get to the beach, though, when you first see
First
Brody, and it's
cop
in
on the
his
scene.
Hey, who's that cop that the other cops ask? What do we got? First cop.
This is a terrible idea for a show.
No, like when they show up at the scene, they always get asked, "What do we got?" And you know who they ask? First cop.
I do want to see
First
that.
cop on.
I do want to see the procedural where the really important detectives are the first people on the scene,
Yeah.
and they actually have to figure
that
it
can't
out.
happen. They're always sleeping next to their wives.
Or each other.
And then he turns. He's like, yeah, I'll be right in. And he turns on the lamp, and she goes, "You gotta go, honey." Yeah. Well, you go. Like, and she supports them anyway. Like, she's worried.
Hold on, and Nick, how about we just do the scene? I mean, we've done these scenes in auditions and things before, so let's just do it right now.
Okay,
right?
who's who?
So you be the guy, I'll be the wife.
I'll be the phone.
Okay.
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 All right.
I'll be the air.
Okay.
Good job. Good. She's doing. She's.
Did it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a cop doesn't call my cell phone. He calls my landline because I'm an old-fashioned detective.
Rang, rang. Rang, rang, hello.
There's my old-fashioned phone. Oh,
Hello?
what time is it? Oh,
Rang, rang.
4 a.m. in the 30.
Jesus Christ, Jerry, turn that off.
I went back to the
Oh,
vibrator.
if my cell phone and my old-timey phone are going off at the same time.
God damn it.
Hang on.
Rang.
Let me answer my phone. Hello?
Wah, wah, wah.
No one's there.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, Charlie Brown's mom?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll make sure Charlie Brown stays out of trouble.
Wah, wah, wah,
You don't
wah.
have to call me. You don't have to call me every day. I'm gonna do it every day. I'm a cop.
Wah, wah. Clink, ka-chink, off.
All right. Bye, Charlie Brown's mom. Now is my regular old timey phone still ringing?
Yes, I am, sir.
Oh, good.
I'm also
Hello?
sentient.
Hello, police officer here.
Hey,
Police officer is my name.
I'm Officer Police. We need you in.
Oh, you need me in? What's happened? A crime?
I can't tell you right now. You just need to get to the station.
Well, I assume it's a crime. That's our
honey,
job.
what
can't
are
tell you.
doing?
I'm
Why
as
are
vague
you
as
so
possible.
Loud?
Okay,
Honey,
thanks, vague
honey,
guy.
I'm trying to sleep.
Get over here. Bye.
I'm sorry, honey. I gotta go in.
No,
they need-
wait, what? You have to go in? What?
I have to go in. It's 4:30, but I think there's been a crime. I
No.
couldn't get the
I
commissioner
don't-
to be specific with me.
Jerry, I don't care if there's been a crime. This is about us. What about our relationship?
Like, I don't think that there's much to our relationship at 4:30 in
Jerry,
the morning, sweetheart.
Jerry,
It's
are you
we'd normally
married
just
to
be laying
me,
next.
or are you married to your job?
Well, you know when you married me that you married the force.
I don't want to be a part of the force anymore, Jerry.
All right, then fine. I gotta get to work, so we gotta get divorced real quick. Then.
All right, if you walk out that door, then we're no
Hello,
longer
my name is
married.
Spencer. I'm a notary public. Does somebody need to get divorced? Yeah,
right-
we
right
do.
here.
Can you please notarize these divorce papers? Sure thing. Quick-a-dick-a-dick.
I really didn't want to do this, Jerry, but I'm glad this has been civil.
It's been very civil. You can have the kids. I'm married to my job. See you later.
Hold on. Are you
going?
Out of my way.
Daddy!
You're just a mouth to feed.
Daddy!
Oh,
What
don't-
about Christmas?
Aw, you know I love Christmas, little Dottie. All right.
Sure you do.
All right, I'll come back for Christmas, little Dottie.
Yay! Christmas is back on.
Ring, ring, ring,
And,
ring.
oh,
ring,
hang on.
ring.
A third type of phone is ringing. It's the kitchen one. Hello.
Hello, is this Jerry, police officer?
Yeah, this is police officer Jerry. How may I help you?
Hi, officer, police officer Jerry, police officer.
Hello there.
Hi, I'm just calling to let you know that because you took so long to get down to the scene, the killer has killed again. So
as though there's a scene in a killer now. Then why didn't you give me that address instead of telling me to come downtown with no details? I just had to get divorced from my wife really quick. I was doing the best I could, Chief.
You're our
Chief
best
police
detective.
officer, police officer, Chief. Charlie?
You should have been.
Hang on.
I can't hear your phone.
A fourth type of phone is ringing in my house.
You better pick that up.
Hello?
Congratulations! You've been chosen to win a cruise to Spain!
Oh my god, thank god. I have no idea how much I need this right now.
To talk to a representative,
scene.
please... Good job, guys.
And that's the story of how the police officer went to Spain.
Yeah.
Story.
So I think that explains that character really well.
In Jaws.
In the movie.
I think so too.
Alright, so anyway,
I wrote.
Brody.
I wrote in that scene when they're in Brody's house. I wrote so many white people.
Yeah, lots
That's
of
this
white
whole
people.
movie. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the whole movie's like that, but
Holy
it's,
shit.
I mean, it really hits home the whole, like, it's like snooty upper class, like Kennebunkport, fucking, everyone's wearing white pants and sweaters and shit.
They live on an
Hashtag
island.
Rich Lives Matter.
Rich Lives Matter. I wanted to bring up, like, how ridiculous the upper class, like, rich people are. Just
Yeah.
like I was.
Yeah. What if they can't? If they can't swim here, they'll swim somewhere else. They'll swim in Cape Cod. They'll swim in New Jersey. But the beach has gotta be
Are you-
open. That sweet, sweet dollar coming.
Is Mark Wahlberg in this movie?
Say hi to my mother for me.
But I think it's funny how, like, in a long line of movies, this is like the first one that blames a disaster on corporate greed.
It's
Yeah,
every
but on,
movie.
like, a small
Godzilla.
corporate greed.
What?
Say, whoa,
Godzilla?
hold on, wait,
Yeah.
what? Snow
It's
White and the
corporate
Seven
greed,
Dwarfs.
but on the
Nowhere near
smallest
the
level
first.
possible.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't you? Don't. What about It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh yeah, I guess that is. But, like,
That's every movie.
I guess you're right.
It's a Wonderful Life came out after Jaws, guys.
Oh,
it
it came
didn't.
out after Josh. I thought it came out before.
It came out after Jaws.
It's a Wonderful
I'm
Life was
telling
shot in 987 BC. We are.
Oh, it's not a wonderful life if there's a
you.
shark
No, you
around.
don't.
Yeah.
No, listen,
It's
fellas.
a wonderful shark.
Fellas, you gotta understand that Jaws is
Just.
it
Oh my
came out
god.
before.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What did you do, Sophie?
I don't know.
Go to the
What
corner.
I'm gonna say is 4th of July weekend. That's the worst weekend for sharks.
Isn't it though?
Like they
Isn't
know,
it?
yeah, 'cause they're all British sharks. They want revenge.
So
Yeah.
I took note. One of the guys who's complaining to Officer Brody, is he says, you got to stop those kids. They're karateing the picket fences.
Yeah, they're sweeping the leg
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And
Karate was that new of a term in America that they didn't quite know the different forms of the verb.
I was just confused because I was like, is that a really common crime here? And then, like, as soon as I wrote it down, the camera cut over, and by God, they were actually karateing
Yeah.
the picket fences. It was actually happening. This is a crime.
Okay.
Those fucking kids are vandalizing that island.
And can I say real quick,
Wow.
there's
It'd be fun.
there were a few times in this movie where I realized what was innovative and funny or good in Jaws is now used in so many B movies that
Yeah.
it started to turn into a legitimate B movie. Like again,
Oh,
we'll get into this near the
no.
end. Near the end, some of the stuff I was literally laughing so hard because it reminded me of B movies.
Eric, I've never
You
wanted
just
to
have
punch
to
you
take in the time. Like for the time, it was amazing.
I was just watching it as a movie. That's just how my brain went.
All right. Well,
You're not supposed to watch it as a movie.
Watch it as
Yeah.
a timepiece.
Yeah.
Can I say I love Brody's extra big shark detecting glasses that he wore at the beach?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
They took up like the majority of his face.
And how prevalent shark darts and shit are in this part of the world. It was like Batman's Procedurals belt.
So if you...
Oh, can I say, I didn't know Bad Hat Harry was a reference to Jaws, that production company that did House.
Hat Harry. Yeah, it's a Bad Hat Harry.
It's some Bad Hat Harry.
Yep.
I had no idea that was a reference to anything.
Well, since we're at that scene, so basically, as we said, a girl gets attacked by the shark. They find her body. They inform Officer Brody, who tries to close down the beach because of it, and the mayor, who is like one of the best characters in the movie because he's such an ass. But
he's so great. Oh
but
my god,
really
you hate him through the whole thing.
And then he has a really beautiful sort of it's only like a half arc, but where he is the last scene you see him is like it's sort of makes you kind of like I don't feel bad for him necessarily, but I sort of understand where his emotions are at. But anyway, so he says you can't close down the beaches. It wasn't a shark. It was probably she got caught up in a boat's propellers. And then it cuts to
which, by the way, holy shit! How that's worse to me. That's
did they pay? But like, did they pay the coroner to change his mind? They pay. That's clear, right? They paid him off.
They paid him off, or they threatened him, or something, because he changed his mind.
He's also in the wrong profession because he cannot hold his stomach very well. I'm like, dude, you're literally just looking at dead people.
Well, and then there's a cop in a shark town that's afraid of water. I mean, everyone is in their worst nightmare of a job.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Talking about Brody, so it's clear that because they talk about his past briefly, and they talk about how he was a cop in New York City, and that they moved out there because he was he couldn't handle all of the
beat on the West Side. And he had a West Side Story. And he couldn't take care of the Jets or
the Sharks.
The Sharks. Come on, guys, right?
I think so.
The Sharks. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Hey, Officer Brody. Fuck you.
Shark you.
That's the best one.
Oh, man.
Guys, we have not gotten anywhere near xenophobic yet, but we're going to keep trying.
All right.
Well, actually, something I read, this comes up later, but so they keep talking about how much Brody hates the water, and they don't really say
and
why.
The Wire.
He also hates The Wire.
Is it the one guy on the island that hates The Wire?
And everyone's like, God, you're such an ass.
That's why he left New York, because all the cops were like, dude, it's so real. Yeah. What are you talking about?
But there's a scene. There's a scene in the second half, which we'll get to, but they're comparing scars.
Yeah.
Right. It's
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But when they're doing that, he like lifts up his shirt briefly, and you see there's this big scar on his stomach. And my theory is that that he was attacked in the water at some point somehow. He may not have been a shark, but it was something attacked him in the water, which is why he's so fucking terrified of the water.
Yeah.
Which I've seen this movie dozens of fucking times, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever noticed that.
Wow.
Blows my fucking mind.
That's leaving himself open for a prequel.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what everyone was really hoping for.
They were like, look. And it's called Jaw.
Yeah.
Well, that's, yeah.
It goes Jaw, then Jaws, then Jaw 3, then Prometheus.
Yep.
We
got
that's the way it went. So that if we had a prequel, we actually could get more Quint, and that leads me to the Quint scene.
First Quint scene.
The quintessential scene.
I'd like to really quickly draw your attention to our podcast page, if I could, and any listener here can go there as well to see Vindication at its finest degree. Let me know when you found what has been posted there.
On our Facebook page?
We didn't
on our podcast page there, yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah, this is really enthralling radio. Squinty.
What I have here are just several examples of how this man squints through this entire movie, and in fact, upon seeing him, I go, "Oh, Sophie, that's Quint." She goes, "Quint? Oh, he's squinting!" Like, that was her first reaction to him, so I just,
It was.
I think I have been vindicated in my Quinty, squinty, winty, dinty, dinty.
You know what, Nick? I can't argue with you there.
Okay.
I think if you haven't already done so, please go to our Facebook page. Nick has put together a little image
Oh, Squinty Quinty.
various examples of Quint squinting in the movie. It's really wonderful. Go check that out.
May I just say...
This is because I can't have a count when it's constant.
Yes.
I could more easily count the times he widens his eyes to a normal level. Like, that I think I saw about 5 times.
Or makes, like, rational human decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, that too as well. But that has nothing to do with my point. But I feel like a victory lap is in order, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, might I also say that when you look at Squinty Quinty on the Facebook page, it has the option to see translation from Google.
Yeah.
And it translates Squinty Quinty into Squinty Quinty, but it says translated from Dutch. So evidently, Squinty Quinty is a Dutch turn of phrase.
My first stepdad, the second dad I had, and the 3 dads that I currently have, he always said, if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. And I always thought that was a mean thing to say to a person who wasn't Dutch.
That's true.
I'm Dutch.
You're Dutch?
I'm Dutch.
Well, you lucked out.
Well, I'm not much.
Me. You're not. I'm not much either. I'm just German. If you're German, you're a terrible person, probably.
Yeah.
Look at the history.
Hey,
Yeah.
I cannot
They're
see how that would be
trying real
appropriate.
hard.
They're trying real hard.
They're trying real hard.
Hold on, let's bring it back in. We were talking about Squint. God damn it, Nick! Now I'm going to be calling him Squint for the rest of my goddamn life.
Hey, easy. Nick's just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, Spike Lee.
So Quint, his entrance in that scene when they're trying to get someone to figure out what they're going to do with the shark, I gotta say that still is like one of the all-time greatest character entrances in a movie ever.
Well,
I mean,
and it's this is embarrassing, but this is true, and a man my age should not have it happen in this order. But I'm like, oh, that's like that scene from Bob's Burgers, where that guy who's always eating there tells him he's going to take care of the mechanical shark, and then I'm like, oh, I bet that was referencing this.
Oh, well, I was saying, I had a bunch of notes throughout the movie where I was so frustrated that I couldn't remember which cartoon episodes of what shows in my youth were making fun of this. Because every line he had...
Every one of them.
Like, I started to quote his lines despite having never known this movie. Like,
well, I mean, this movie is up there with Star Wars, I think, in terms of amount of references there are in everyday life
Jaws,
to it.
Star Wars, The Exorcist, the first 3 blockbusters, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. These were the pioneers.
It's Scottish Werner Herzog again.
Oh,
literally saying
Navi.
the same thing.
Wow. Maybe this is like a different Navi. This is like Navi's cousin, Favio.
Fabio?
Yeah, this is Hey, okay, I'm gonna hit up C on my because that's the name of my fairy.
Okay.
Ian has Navi, and I have Fabio.
Okay.
Hey!
Makes sense.
Up C.
You should really stop watching that show during the podcast.
What show? What?
The one with the guy talking about movies. The Scottish guy. The Scottish Herzog.
Oh, see,
Tarkin
Fabio. No,
Herzog.
that's me doing an impression of him.
Oh.
I'm all puffed up that you thought it was the real thing. So.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
God, it's just like it's really like nice at first, but then they just can't ever see themselves up.
Yeah.
Get a life, right, fairies? Oh,
We can't say that anymore.
I'm so sorry.
They do not like that.
I'm such a hypocrite.
Also, okay, keep going. I wrote down what happens after that Quint line. my favorite scenes in the first half are like all of the scenes with with Brody and his family. Right? All these little touching scenes. Like one of my favorite lines in a movie ever is "Want to get drunk and fool around?" Like between him and his wife, I love watching all these little relationship moments, like that one between them, or the one where it's him and his kid, and
the kids like doing all the same hand motions. That was just gorgeous.
I wrote down that same exact line, but for the exact opposite reason. I like face palmed when he said it, because at this point it would be so cliche to put it in a movie. And again, I'm watching this for the first time, like not knowing the time limit. But he's like, "Want to get drunk and fool around?" And I'm like, "What is this, a Tinder date?"
Oh man,
boy, Eric is the old sourpuss of this podcast.
I think it's a beautiful line because I think it is it's a weirdly romantic thing to say when you're
it's like they're still kind of teenagers together. Yeah. Like they're not old people. They still have a good time in the sack, and they have a kid, but they can fool around behind the kid's back.
Yeah, no, I totally support all of that. Just how it came out, it took me for a loop.
Oh, I don't know why I'm friends with you. That's okay.
Purely for content.
Yeah, purely for content.
It's for the podcasting.
It is.
Yeah, that's the only reason I keep you around is because we need a fourth person.
That's true.
Yeah, we need someone for everyone to disagree with. We couldn't just have a podcast where everybody loves a thing.
So
and usually
boring.
it's Ian, so...
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, it does make me respect you less, but I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad. Yeah. Also, that being said, I'm also going to be, since I've assumed this role throughout the podcast, we're like maybe, 20 minutes into the movie, and we've gone through almost like 45, 50 minutes of podcasting, so we gotta get through this bastard.
I'm keeping track, dude. I'm the one taking...
I was assuming my role of being crotchety. I actually just threw a child off my lawn.
Well, listen to the crotchety guy. We'll
he can play that to a T.
Yes.
Mr. T.
He's really good at being crotchety.
That's right.
Usually he's just crotchy.
I see what Ian's going for. He's just not quite getting it there.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Whatever. Anyway, so we move forward to Richard Dreyfuss enters the scene.
Richard Dreyfuss. I do a horrible Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh. Is that your Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes, it's trying to be. I don't do one. That's my attempt, and it's horrible.
Dreyfuss. Okay.
Richard Dreyfuss. It's hard.
I have two notes about the Quint introduction, real quick, that I was very proud of. One,
call it the Quintroduction.
The
Quintroduction.
My first line is, "Quint, this fucker drank Bailey's from a shoe." My second note was, there's a line that says 24 hours is like 3 weeks, and I wrote, "Some extra got their ad lib in the final take."
Yeah.
I love that, actually.
I did because of that exact
24
reason.
hours? That's like 3 weeks.
Because you could tell they just said scream, and one extra screamed the loudest in front of a microphone, and he like nailed it, and is still getting residuals.
Oh yeah, the Wilhelm scream.
So well done.
He's awesome. He's amazing, and I gotta tell you, like, it's so cool to see the stuff that launched his career. As I grew up watching What About Bob on a loop.
Oh, you mean Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes.
Yes.
So to see what, like, the thing that kind of launched him, right? This was before Close Encounters.
Yeah, because Close Encounters was between this and E.T.
E.T. Yeah. So this is basically the thing that did it for him, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's awesome. There's something about him. I mean, like, he's kind of like good looking. He's a good looking guy.
He is. He's really snarky and charismatic.
He rocks boyish. That beard. Like, it really works for him.
Yeah. I also I don't really pay attention to accents that much in movies unless it's like, there for a purpose. But I noticed he kept saying Waters.
Oh, Waters.
Yeah. Waters. And it was like, oh, I don't know. That's something I noticed. I don't know why.
We know that because we were in a play where the people were from there.
Yeah, Waters.
I wanted to say that the reason that Richard Dreyfuss is kind of, like kind of everybody's favorite, right? Everybody loves him at least. Mm-hmm. Is because, like, where everyone else in the movie has fear, he has excitement. He represents us in that situation. Like, yeah, things are scary, but they're also awesome, and we're going to get to see some stuff. And Richard Dreyfuss is the person we can experience that with.
Oh, I'm still afraid.
Yeah.
I'm the fear person.
Yeah.
And that's
no, but didn't you notice, especially when he's first introduced, there's like lighter music and there's sort of a lighthearted giddiness to his character.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Totally.
I mean, like if a kid, like if I didn't see it as a kid, but I imagine that if I went as a child, I would just be like aching for the shark to come back again.
Oh yeah.
Why am I watching these adults do things I don't care about?
Well,
I think as a kid, as a kid, I think I would have loved this movie.
Yeah,
I really think
I think that actually brings us to a really great way of. I'm gonna skip us ahead a little bit. If you've watched the movie, you know what happens. They find a shark, claim it's the shark, then they discover it isn't.
Yeah, there's still an hour of movie left.
Because of the bite radius on the corpse, he didn't think it was the same shark. Yeah. And Brody was convinced it wasn't the same shark, but the mayor doesn't care and makes everybody get in the water. Yeah. Anyway, it's like
everyone's
a death
out in the water, and there's this awesome moment where Spielberg does a fake out where he makes you think that there's about to be an attack, and then it turns out it's just a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And he also he takes advantage of the fact that he's used that point of view shot. He's done that point of view from the shark's perspective already. Yeah. And then during that scene, he uses the same shot, and then you just discover it's actually just some kid with scuba glasses.
Yeah, and when you see the other real shark, you see it from a distance, cutting in.
Yeah. And then I took note, it's the first time you see the shark is there's an attack in the pond, which I don't really see how it's a pond, but what they call the pond. And the first time you see the shark in this movie is at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the first time you see anything other than a fin.
Yeah.
And even then, it's only for, like, the briefest of seconds. I mean, I think it's like 3 or 4 seconds. And then that's it. And then you see him once a little bit later, and then not really until when the hunt happens.
Yeah. I wish we hadn't seen it till like the last 10 minutes. Honestly.
Oh God, no!
I think it's blown.
I thought it was great in every instance we saw it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I wanted to say I really like. I miss the whole actually having like animatronics, puppets, stuff like that. I think it's
such a better
scarier.
like a visceral, like an aesthetic to see.
Yeah.
I hate the way that the CGI stuff looks.
See, maybe it's because I trained myself when I was young to get through horror movies by looking at practical effects. I was just looking at the shark came out, like, because again I loved the fear, I loved the people just disappearing, and that's terrifying. The not knowing something is the most terrifying thing in the world, in my opinion. So I think that once
then you must be terrified all the time, every day.
I am. I lived in constant terror, Nick. But yeah, it is that thing of once we saw the shark, I'm like, okay, it's that prop, and I wonder when it's gonna be back, and there it is again, and I already know what it looks like. So whenever we didn't see it again, I'm like, well, I already know what it is, so. I don't know. The suspense was lost as much for me because I'm like, I know it's going to come back. I know what it looks like. I know what it's going to do.
Because I wrote down that this really is a drama first and monster movie third.
Yeah.
What's it second?
Because, well, that's the point, is that it's like a drama like first and second.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
No. Second, it's a period piece. No, second, it's an ABC Family made-for-TV movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, second, it's a grindhouse.
Yeah.
But not a movie, just a house where people grind.
Yes. Yeah. Produced by Judd Apatow.
But the thing is, I think that, so like I said, you don't see the shark until 1 hour 2, right? And then there's another like 30 minutes until you see the shark again. And really at any length. And over time, I sort of forget about it. So then later...
You're watching Jaws, Ian. How do you forget about the shark?
Because you're focusing on this...
it lulls you into a false sense of security about it.
Yeah, and it makes you focus on all these other dramas that are happening. So in the first half, it's the family dramas that are happening, whether it's in Brody's family or, Brody's relationship with the mom whose kid gets killed.
Yeah.
And then in that second half, after the next attacks happen, what happens in the movie, if you haven't watched it, is Quint and Brody, they go out on the hunt. And this is the second half of the movie, is the three of them trying to hunt down the shark. And this is when the movie turns into a completely different movie. And it becomes this weird power struggle between the three of them. Because they're all really cocky.
Yeah. They're like three different types of men,
Exactly.
That's the really intellectual, smart one, the kind of pensive hero, I guess, and the really rough and kind of brainstem operating.
Well,
crazy guy.
It was weird when they first met. When Richard Dreyfuss first met Quint. I was like, oh man, they're gonna love each other because of sharks. And then they don't like each other at first, and I'm like, oh man, I really feel like they would get along.
Yeah.
And then when they start to bond, I'm like, oh, okay, so they had to start as enemies, and then they have to respect each other through time.
Yeah, but then the male ego gets in the way. That darn male ego.
Well, I don't know what you mean about the power struggle. I thought that they kind of got along pretty well on the boat.
Oh, see, I think they're constantly... I think they're constantly... It's not till, almost all the way through the movie that they finally start respecting each other's ideas.
Oh yeah, I thought they were constantly at odds. I think that's the whole point about, especially near the end when, because you have the one guy that literally has, I'm gonna do it this way, and then it's like, no, I'm the crazy guy. This is my ship. We're gonna do it this way, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna call for help. And he's like, fuck you. It's like if they literally had worked together for half a second, as opposed to each trying to pursue their own objectives, maybe we wouldn't have had to go through the barrel shit 8 times.
Well, the thing is, so when the first 2 encounters with the shark bomb, and then Quint is finally like, okay, you can use the cage, even though I don't think it's going to work, I'll do it. I love watching all of those concessions and all those different moments of, all right, let's try it your way, because I give up. My way's clearly not working.
So you're saying that was
it didn't seem like a power struggle so much to me as it all seemed kind of playful.
It was.
I saw it as aggressive.
There was too much at stake. Yeah, there was too much at stake for it to be a playful power struggle. When he broke their call device, when he tried to call for help, he saw that as the end. This is they're dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I saw that. I was pissed. I was like, who does that help?
Why did he not take it easy when the engine was smoking toward the end?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just let up on it a little bit?
Because he is determined to fucking drag this.
Then he's a poor man's Ahab.
Yeah, he will do everything. He's not gonna do. He's the only thing he can do at this point is kill the shark, and he doesn't care who he also kills in the process.
I guess my question then is, at that point, why don't they they clearly all have weapons. Why don't they put a gun to his head and say stop? If they're all so, we're going to die at that point, then it should have been to put the gun to his head, call for help, or stop the ship. Because they all had weapons.
Because the point
if he would have just, if he was planning on,
shark.
If he's planning on committing suicide by killing the shark, if it was truly like in Captain Ahab, he wouldn't have waited to make them pay him.
Yeah.
Sure, but at that point, I'm not saying whether he wanted to commit suicide. I'm saying if someone is going so insane that you think you are going to die, and you think that person doesn't realize that, because I don't think, like you're saying, I would agree that Dreyfuss never thought he was going to die. He just thought, I'm going to make it because I'm going to fucking make it. If he's so short-sighted that he can't see that because he's blinded by his own ambition, then that's when you have to go to the extreme solution, or else you're all dead.
Oh, I couldn't help but notice how
they're
much
trying to kill the shark. They're not there to kill each other.
The point is that they're trying to kill the shark.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were trying to be friends.
Oh man.
Fuck you guys.
Then they formed a softball team.
All right. Well,
two of them.
We've only got a couple things left to talk about. Let's skip forward to the
sailors
the
love a good sing-song, don't they?
Oh yes, the Spanish ladies.
Like, he is such a tough, rough, get out of my way, don't mess with me, I'll cut you type of guy. But if you hum yourself a little shanty
man, you're set.
He will get right up into that. And what I love the movie Master and Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And they sing a version of that same song. He sings, except it's like about England instead of Boston.
Right.
Can I say, so one thing...
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I did like that. That was a nice bonding moment as far as character goes. One thing, and this is like basically the end of it, that bothered me structurally as far as the drama went. So like you said, you had your first 2 times with the barrels, neither one of them worked, and then you had to do your third cage thing, right? Mm-hmm. So they tried the first thing with the barrel, didn't work. To me, the second time it came back and they did the exact same thing with the barrel, it didn't work. The stakes had not changed. The reasoning hadn't changed for me. I didn't see it had changed enough for them to do literally the exact same thing. That 10 minutes of the first barrel could have been cut out for me.
Because 3 barrels is enough to stop any shark dead in its tracks. And that's what's impressive about Jaws, is that 3 barrels was not enough to stop him.
Yeah, they tried 1 barrel, it didn't work. And now you add up to 3 barrels, he shouldn't be able to stay down, and yet he is. And then it's like, well, shit, we have to go to sleep because we don't know what we're gonna, or we have to pack it in for the night. And then that leads to that fucking awesome, the whole USS Indianapolis monologue.
Also, how does the packing, like, did Jaws also agree that, like, okay, I want to attack you for like, it was like a truce for 12 hours, like that? I didn't get the whole time. Like the sun went up and down a bunch in a time.
Wait, hold on. Are you suggesting that Quint and Brody and them they had a truce with the shark?
Yeah, for 12 hours, so they could just chill for a while.
It's like that movie, that Christmas movie during World War I, where the Germans.
It's like, hey, we're tired. We want to sing a bit and talk about some stories. Jaws, can you fuck off with your 3 barrels for a bit? Awesome, thank you. I appreciate that.
Or maybe it was just the shark was trying to get away and try and see if there's any way to get the barrels off, or something like that. It's a scared animal. It's going to run away until it can't.
Santa Claus?
What?
You put an extra syllable in the word scared.
Oh, scared?
You said scared animal.
Oh, scared animal.
Yeah, you said it is a
scared animal. He was walking around like any simple scared animal.
Oh, man.
So can we talk real quick about what might be my absolute favorite scene in the movie, which is the USS Indianapolis and the comparing scars scene.
Am I the only one who thought a little bit homoerotic?
Yeah.
Oh, where they're like comparing the scars?
Totally homoerotic.
And they put their legs up on each other and stuff?
I thought it was a fake leg.
I'm just like...
The camera angle made it look like a fake leg.
It was weird, because I didn't think Quint would be that comfortable being that physical with them.
I agree.
I don't think he would be, except for the fact that it's homoerotic, but it's also like the manliest thing in the world.
And maybe one of the oldest, manliest things.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you think that's impressive? Look at this. I got this one.
Cavemen showed each other like dinosaur scars.
Yeah.
Because they were around at the same time, like the Flintstones.
Yep.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
but
the Earth is only 5,000 years old, so
we all know this. Let's not waste
6,000.
anyone's time.
6,000 years old. Sorry.
Come
on. Wow. But yeah, and then that scene's amazing. But then that USS Indianapolis scene, that monologue, is, I think, hands down one of my favorite monologues in movie history. And I love that I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith, and you can see that Kevin Smith loved this movie because there's a lot of devices that he uses in his movies. So he just straight up steals the comparing scars scene in Chasing Amy.
Yeah. And the speech that he does in Chasing Amy too.
is totally like this speech.
Yeah.
And that part in Chasing Amy where he like scrapes his fingers down the chalkboard to get Amy's attention.
Get out of here.
God.
Oh, and it's about lesbians, too.
And-
Remember? We were talking about
Yeah,
the lesbians?
lesbian sharks.
Oh, my God.
And the scene where they shoot Amy in the mouth to explode the tank in her mouth.
Yeah.
And then Amy blows up.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
But
scene
she's
in the
back
movie.
again in Chasing Amy 2.
Yeah.
Chasing
Revenge?
Amy.
And then there was that one scene in Jaws where Jaws tries to have sex with both Amy and his roommate.
Yeah, and
Do you remember that?
Yeah, and Ian also dated a shark.
Yep.
And derailed. Thanks, Eric.
No problem.
Hey.
So then they keep going, and then they kill the shark. Pretty famous.
Okay, that was
moment.
fucking awesome. That was fucking great. I will say, I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
no,
really
see,
good.
no. Kept going back to the
Well, like,
to the
when
can. I'm
those
like,
fell over
Shark
earlier,
explosion.
I was like, those air tanks are going on the wall. But if I
Yeah.
hadn't seen that, if I hadn't known that, that is one of the things I knew last week.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
do. They do. I didn't.
They
know
do
the
a good
first time
job
I
of
saw it.
making you think that red herring has been covered by the
Oh, yeah, I
fact
didn't
that
know.
they keep messing with it, and then he finally uses it to go in the tank, and they're like, it must have been a gun on the wall for him going in the cage.
Exactly.
Right.
So
And-
you think that it's done.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
It's a brilliant misdirect.
you know
Yeah.
how I would have known if they
The
would
part
have
of this movie we call it the turn.
See,
That's the part where you think you see
Fucking
something, but
God
you didn't
damn
really
it.
see. And then the last part where you blow up the shark, that's the prestige.
Hold on,
and some
it's-
people
hold on.
just want to watch the world burn.
Oh my god, guys! I can't believe we have world famous actor Michael Caine here.
Hello, nice to be
Star.
here. Hello, being
Funny enough, the star of Jaws 4.
Star Jaws 4. That's it right here. That's why I stopped by.
Yeah. So do you have
Wait,
any-
wait, wait.
Okay.
Is he
Just-
Not a
is he
lot- not a lot
morphing
of
into Hugh
people know
Jackman?
that.
there we go. We're back.
Can you just give us a couple of quick words on your what do you feel about Jaws?
What do I feel about Jaws? It's a beautiful shark, right? He's swimming there. He looks real sexy. I would shag him from behind. I'd say thank you. How's your mum? And I'll go out the door leaving him a fiver.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Well, thanks for
That's
stopping
really
by,
wonderful.
Michael Caine.
Thanks, yeah.
No problem. Glad I could stop by. Goodbye. Cheerio, mates. Mike O'Kane.
Wow, that's impressive, guys.
Yeah,
I wonder if
that
we'll
was
get an
really-
actor related to the movie every week. That'd be cool.
You know what? It's weird. It's like I put out that request in the mail. I didn't really think he'd show up. Like, it
Wait,
was
and one more thing.
tangentially related at best.
One more thing.
Oh.
One more thing. She was only
Wow,
Who's
he
this?
sounds like
15.
he's like in 3
Yes.
hours different.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is this like parallel universe, Michael Caine? Oh my god,
It's
is this,
3
is this
hours
Michael
from
Caine
now,
from
Michael
the future?
Caine.
Oh
Yes,
my
yeah,
god,
it's
it's Michael Caine from the future. Michael Caine from the future. What's going on in the future?
Well,
now, wait, it's 9:35 here.
let
What
me
time
talk,
is it
you
there?
bleeding motherfucker. I was about to say, she was only 16 years old. I'm kind
Oh, I love
of
that.
like a
Okay,
Pokemon. It's a good one. It's a bloody good one.
We'll part as
So wait,
friends.
so
we
you're
will.
saying that
We're
in the
Paul's
future
friends, yeah.
Michael Caine still quotes himself?
Well, it's 9:35.
She was
here.
only
I think it's probably what
16.
1:30 midnight where he is.
Yes.
That's 3. I got 3 hours to get from here to there.
So wait, future Michael Caine, where are you right now?
She was
Hey, you're
only
future Mike O'Kane, mate. I'm past Mike O'Kane, mate.
she was only 16 years old.
Oh god, Michael Caine, watch out!
That's
in the
all
future,
he's got.
You go crazy,
Okay.
and the only
bye
thing you
both
can
Mike
say.
O'Kanes. Bye,
She
Michael.
was only
Bye,
16.
both of you.
Oh man,
Man, that was weird.
Wipe. Done with that segment.
Wait.
So let's wrap it up. Does anyone have anything else they want to say real quick about the movie or?
I just thought it was great. Like, good job. Like, way to go, Steven Spielberg. Way to influence all future cinema.
Yeah, it's amazing seeing this with this eye and being like, holy shit, the amount of movies that are, influenced by this is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Pretty much every movie with a shark in it, right?
Yeah.
Most water. Most movies with water. Waterworld.
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale for sure.
Yeah, Shark Tale.
Yeah.
Shark
Tale 2 direct to VHS.
Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
Sharknado. Deep Blue Sea with the soundtrack by LL Cool J. Deepest Bluest My Head is Like a Shark's Fin.
Open Water.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks, the cartoon.
Andy Richter's Jaws.
Andy Richter's Street Sharks.
Andy Richter's Jaws.
So this was Jaws, everyone. This is our first week of actual movie club content.
John About Jaws.
This is John About Jaws.
John About Jaws.
Ian, what's the order for next week?
It's me. I'm up next.
All right, Nick Dressel. What? Listeners, brace yourselves. The next.
I've put a lot of thought into this, and
how many hours? How many hours on average do you think?
I'd say about 4 to 5 man hours.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's like what? 7 woman hours?
Twice as many Nick hours.
Okay.
Yeah, the man hours is double a Nick hour.
Yeah, it takes
Nick's only half a man.
Nicks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
In case you didn't know.
Anyway, back to my point. I was thinking about, like, if I did pick something that I absolutely love, like Ian, it's really good that Eric didn't care for it as much as we did, because there was that counterpoint, but I'm like, I can't pick something I love, or it's just going to be me gushing over it for an hour. If I was going to pick Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I'm like, no, can't do that. I love every line and every scene in that movie. Cool. I can't do it. So I thought, and I actually mentioned this in last week's podcast, because this podcast is a way to fight off the demonic clown, and I thought I would choose the direct-to-TV movie Stephen King's It, starring Tim Curry as Pennywise the Clown.
Okay.
All right. I've never seen it.
That is something I have not seen.
Nope.
Hell yeah.
It is a 2-part movie, guys. It's maybe almost 4 hours. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. That was what I said was, I think the max limit for time whenever we do these things should be like 4 hours.
And I was also,
what about you, Eric? I know you have a busy schedule. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, this week is actually not bad for me. And I just want to say for listeners too, we also opened that up to, as far as like if you're listening to albums or things like that, that's the time limit we're kind of roughly establishing. If you want to follow along.
Yeah, or if you want to suggest something, maybe one of us will like it enough to use it as our turn.
Yeah, or 3 episodes of a series or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So what's cool about that movie is that it's great, and it's also kind of bad. Like there's as many amazing scenes as there are, there's like these weird performances that don't quite work. So it's this dichotomy of just like half the movie works, half of it doesn't work. The ending does not work, guys, and it is completely different than the book.
Well, here, let's just. I don't know anything really about it.
I know nothing, just a clown.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
and I've heard you and TJ talk about it a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. So but you've heard about like Tim Curry's clown thing before. Like that's not.
Nope.
No.
I only know about
going in blind.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay. I will say that this movie actively gave my little sister nightmares from like 5 to 8 years old.
I mean, it is really frightening.
I watched it on a loop almost, on a VHS that my mom taped off of TV, complete with commercials, like old commercials for like, remember the commercial where you put the tape in and the music was so loud it blew the guy back in the chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That commercial when it was really airing.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Well, sweet. Then that's next week, everyone. So,
that's next week.
So
in the meantime,
so this will go up on... What?
This will go up on Monday.
By the way, I don't know where you'd find this. I found it for cheap in a DVD bin. I bet if you're a savvy net person, you could definitely find a way to download it for sure.
Yeah, I'll look around and see, and maybe I'll post something on the group.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone who somehow is still listening. If you haven't already, please go to our Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/We Didn't Start the Podcast. Go ahead and like us. You can comment.
We didn't?
What?
No, we did start it. No, we did start it.
We did.
Oh my god, we talked for like an hour and 20 minutes.
No, we started it, honey. We
Okay.
started it.
So go ahead, like us there. If you're using iTunes, please subscribe and leave comments for us. We love it. We love to hear from people. This is just us fucking around. So
and please leave your thoughts,
people.
even if there may be weeks where we all adore something. There may be weeks like this week where one of us doesn't. There may be weeks where we all fucking hate something. So just...
Or if we miss, like, the point of the movie.
Let us know,
like,
please.
Yeah.
Let us, we love to hear that stuff because we haven't heard anything from anybody yet, really, except for Sophie's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my mom, ladies and gentlemen.
He's sad because he could have saved more. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Eric, are you saying that your movie is gonna be Schindler's List? That's
And with that,
choice.
I've been Eric.
It was just a red coat. It's just a red coat. Doesn't mean anything. Just a way to track an individual's journey.
All right, so everyone's signing out. I'm Ian.
I pardon you.
That's
I'm
Nick.
Sophie.
That's
I am
Sophie.
Nick.
It's okay not to like things. I'm Eric.
Oh. And this is
we
Grim.
really
We didn't
screwed
start
that
the
up.
podcast.
Full disclosure, we really screwed that up.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Hit the thing.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye.